Hey, how's it going, Old School Runescape, and welcome to another weekly recap. So we started off the week with a look at the month ahead, as March is looking to be another epic month for Old School. Starting off with the Achievement Diaries released this past Thursday, players have been given 10 brand new diaries to test their strength and knowledge of Old School Runescape, and the rewards are pretty epic. We also uploaded our very first behind the scenes video with a look at what went into this massive project and how it all came together, and that's featuring mods John C, Reach, and Ghost. But our personal favorite thing about this video is the bloopers that came with it.
This allowed me to create a unified, centralized system that would allow us to implement. I programmed them.
Up next, membership bonds are on their way, and they'll allow you to purchase membership for your account using your in-game gold. And once these bonds are released, you'll be able to purchase them from other players or from the Grand Exchange. So look forward to seeing those in-game sometime around mid-March. Moving on, we have the updates from the near miss poll making their way to the game, like the wilderness boss pets, and the ability to skip dialogue with the spacebar. It's also worth noting that we'll soon be increasing the requirements to vote on a poll to a 300 total level and at least 25 hours in-game playtime. And finally, at the end of March, you can look forward to the brand new Easter holiday event, and though we can't go too much into detail right now, we can say that it may include the Easter Bunny being terrorized by chocolate NPCs, so stay tuned for more info on that. Next up, let's take a look at live streaming. So on Wednesday, Ronan hosted his Rotten Potato Shenanigans community stream, and it really was quite the show.
How did you get the Silverlight? Google it, wow, okay.
And of course, we also had the weekly Q&A on Thursday, which was particularly full of laughs and also came with a few interesting topics, like an in-game clock, prayer renewals, and even mountable horses. So be sure to check out the highlights of both of those live streams linked below. And lastly, we move on to our player spotlight feature, starting off with Paul, aka Phil Freedom, aka Is My Strength Zero, who's managed to make perhaps the greatest flip of all time. As you can see, he purchased over 40 shield left halves over a year ago with hopes that they'd rise from the Elite Clue update. However, they didn't, and since then they've been known as one of the most useless items in the game. But seeing as how they're now needed for the Ardoin Achievement Diary, they skyrocketed in price for a short time yesterday, and he managed to turn quite the profit. So well done, that's not something we see very often. Moving on, it looks like Trance Music was the very first player to acquire the new Achievement Diary cape and the full Elite set. And that was all done well under 24 hours after release. That's one hell of an accomplishment, so well done, man, that looks epic. And lastly, a little out of the box, but still definitely worth a mention, we have Ben 10 MMA, who's an MMA fighter particularly known for his fight against a rather in-your-face opponent, who he managed to knock out in just 20 seconds. Well, he hosted an AMA on Reddit yesterday and it went quite viral, and someone just happened to ask him what his favorite games were, so he of course mentioned RuneScape. What a badass. So there you have it, guys. That's been all that happened this past week in Old School. So thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to keep up to date with the game.